Right, I'm just going to try and show you how I make little umbrellas. These ones are almost done. A puffin head one and a duck head one. Now I start with this with some cocktail sticks. These ones are a bit longer than average, but I will be cutting them down short. I use a 2-part mixer called Milliput. You have to get 2 pieces exactly the same. So you break one off one side, and I find by rolling it in a ball I can better judge how big that is compared to the next one. So we'll put one piece of that one in. It's a bit tough. It's important to keep these 2 bits the same. If you have too much of one or the other, then it might not set. So put it away. Now you have to mix these together by squashing. I usually squash it out, roll it up. So the idea is we're going to try and mix it till there's no streaks at all left in it. It is a bit messy on your fingers, as you can see. Some of the white stuff is coming off on my hands. There's no need to work very quickly with this stuff because it will take about an hour to start to set. Now when you first mix it up, it's very soft and sticky. After it's halfway set, it'll start to firm up a bit. It depends what you're making as to what sort of, how you'd like it to be. You know, I don't really like it when it's this gungy because it gets everywhere, but keep working it for a bit. Right, I think it's mixed. Now what I do here is I put a little bit on the top of the cocktail stick and I'm trying to sort of tap it on. The good news about this is you don't have to put it in an oven, you don't bake it, and however it looks when you've done it is how it's going to be when it's finished. See, it's so sticky. It's come off of there though. I want to squash it on a bit better. Now I'll try to sort of create a head shape and a beak. If I leave that for a moment, it will start to get a bit firmer. Now, another bit on there. When this is sticky on your fingers, it sort of pulls it about a bit, but you can't see them, I don't think, on there. I'll pull it forward a bit. I do find bird heads don't have to be too perfect. As long as you paint them the right colours, it helps, you know. And the other thing you can do with this is try to create a turned over walking stick, like the cane piece. That one looks like a bit of a banana. Shh. Just dragging that down with my finger, trying to leave it. I'm going to pop it on there for a minute, see if you can see that. You can use other things to shape this with, like sticks and whatever, but it is going very sticky on my fingers. It's like a pretty ugly face. I sometimes do these little skull heads more for Halloween, but you never know if somebody wants a gothic looking one. Right, I'll leave that for a minute. If I go back to this first one now, I'd like the idea that the duck's bill is a bit flatter on the top and not a point at the end, so I'll just knock it in a bit. You can shape this for a long time, so there's no particular hurry, like I said. I'm going to add a little bit more around the bottom of the head. I'm really using that cocktail stick to roll it down with because my fingers are so gluey and sticky that I'm dragging the stuff down. Now, not very conventional. There's a dirty bit of paint water there in that cup, but if I can dip my fingers in a bit of water, and a bit of kitchen paper towel, it will wash off. Do say when you're working with things like this not to use baby wipes all the time because they contain different things and they can actually react with what you're making. So just a bit of water will do. dry tissue. Now the next one. As you're picking it up for this time round, it's getting easier to shape. But there's another nice little trick with this, is if you actually dip it in water, or put your finger in water, which, oops, sorry about that. I'll put a little bit of water in here just to show you. If you put your finger in water, I'm going to show you on this one, where it's rough, if you just smooth it with a little bit of water on your finger, it will actually smooth it down. So, there you go. So where it was a little bit rough, you can smooth it over. And the same with this head. I don't need much water on my finger, just a tiny bit. There we go. That's the sort of shape you want for a puffin head. Sort of flat at the bottom and a bit like a hooked shape over the top. With the duck, I like a little beak that's slightly on the upturn. Now the head, where I've joined on a bit of neck, I can put a bit of water on my finger and smooth it out. It's nice to work with a piece of foam like this because as you're making things you can stab it in the foam and they're not touching anything and falling over. Right, that's about as inventive as I'm going to be today. Oh, I've got a little bit of milliput left over, so I ought to use it. I don't really know what I'm doing, but you could make a broom head, you could make a pickaxe, you could make anything you want with this. I don't really know what I want to do really, because I've got nothing prepared, no bristles, no nothing. Now I use Fimo quite a lot for making doll's house miniatures with. It's very good. You can bake it in the oven and make lots of different shapes with it. Right, for a broom we want a flat side on the other side. So what I'm going to do is create a little hole in the top. Now when that's got bristles on it and it's all painted up, it will look lovely. So we'll just leave that to dry. Now these ones here, you might be able to see that I started these earlier. Sometimes on the spikes at the bottom end of the things I do gold leaf. On these ones I'd left the gold leaf at work, so I've just painted them black to start with. There's a stray hair. On this one I've tied a bow with black silk ribbon, only really because it shows up more. If you do a different colour ribbon it will show up better. So I don't think green's the right kind of ribbon really for a black umbrella. Let me see what else I have. Can't see much more. I usually put a little bit of lace as well around the tops of the umbrellas. I think it just makes them look a bit nicer. Now normally I would have put the lace all the way around the top of the thing before screwing it up, or carefully folding it, however you want me to say. So for this I need a little bit of glue. As you know, I'm always too impatient to wait for anything to dry, so there goes a clip on it. The only thing is with that clip, it's going to squash it a bit flat. Do I care? Not really. If I was being more patient at work or not showing you anything, I would walk away, leave it something to dry and come back to it. However, with these fiddly little things, I always feel like you're not seeing what I'm doing unless I try to complete something. Whoops. I don't know if you can see this. Right, I've tied these silk ribbons on, and I will put the tiniest dot of glue on top of the silk ribbon knot on the bow, because it might hold forever. Then again, it might come undone a bit, and I don't want it to come undone. Right,